And it's a pleasure now to be joined here on GCR by one of our own, a young man who had the honor of hearing his name called in the fifth round of the draft this week. He is the pride of St. Paul's by way of Wake Forest, and now he's a part of the Colorado Rockies organization. He's Cam Nelson, and he's with us here on GCR. Cam, it's Glenn. It's so great to meet you, man. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us. We really appreciate it.
Glenn, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Can you put into words what this week has been? I remember I was talking to your dad the other day, and he said, "I'm not even him, and it's been a whirlwind." Can
Yeah.
you put into words what
Yeah.
this week has been like?
I mean, it's very surreal. It doesn't feel real yet. It happened 2 days ago, and it still doesn't really feel real. I'm just beyond grateful, for everything, for all the support system I've had growing up, back in Baltimore, all the people I was able to meet, relationships, that's, taken me the long way. And, I'm just very thankful for, you know, everybody back there and everybody I've met along my way, on my journey.
I would love that. Cam, if I could, I'd like to work back, and then we'll get to today.
Mhm. Yeah.
Growing up, how did you end up playing baseball? I know you were a multi-sport athlete,
Yeah.
right? Where did the baseball part come from? What led you to baseball, and what made baseball the sport that you said, this is the one for me. I want to go this path and try to do this.
It's always honestly kind of it's always been my thing, I've always loved other sports growing up, but baseball, it was always been a little bit different for me. I've had a different energy for the game, different drive. Um, and it got to the point for me, once I, got to high school and really figured out that, I wanted to really take my game to the next level. That's kind of, when I really decided to, started dropping in the other sports, started training in the off season, taking it very seriously. It was kind of like a little bit of a switch that, flipped for me, as I started to, get into my high school years growing up. So yeah, no, baseball's always been it though. It's definitely,
What is it? Like,
mine.
what is it about baseball? What drove you to it? Was it just that you recognized that you were pretty good at it, or
Yeah, I would say that I've always realized that I've been pretty talented. But also just, honestly, just the love for the game.
yeah,
I, that's the only thing that I want to do 24/7. And I'm glad to call it my job
that's
now.
cool, man.
Just because it's always been a life goal. And just to, yeah, just to go out there every single day and do that and train for that every single day. I can't be more excited.
I guess let's handle that really quickly. So
Mhm.
someone would say, "Hey, you still have some eligibility at Wake Forest. You've
Right.
you've made that decision already. You know this is what you're doing."
Yes, definitely. It's definitely, it was a tough decision to make. But a great organization, great people. It didn't couldn't honestly go wrong with either decision there.
Sure.
So no, I'm excited, honestly, either way.
Yeah, it's a nice choice to have to make, right? Like, there's really not a loss in there. Well, congratulations, Cam. Cam, take me through how you ended up at St. Paul's, right? And what that experience did for you, obviously playing in the MIAA
Mhm.
against a lot of top guys. Why that was the route for you, and what it did to help you on your path to now being a pro baseball player.
Right. So I'm growing up in Harford County. That's where we're originally
Okay.
from. We've kind of, we've met some people going to, some showcases when I was younger, and we found St. Paul's, through some friends, and that was a really great fit for me, not only academically but for baseball as well. And so we saw that through, to from 2017 through 2022, seventh grade year to my junior year of high school. I, I did at St. Paul's, and I can't be more grateful for that experience. Not only just for the in classroom experience, being able to graduate at a very high level of high school, and to be ready for college. That was, very it was a very extremely important thing for me, and not only just for high school ball as well. I feel like going out there was great for me. The relationships with all the people that I've met there at St. Paul's, and then obviously my senior year going to Pro 5 in Fredericksburg, Virginia. That was another big step for me as well. That really feel like I took my game to the next level my senior year. Um, and I was essentially living by myself, and I was
Hmm.
started before college my senior year. So that was a that was a whole nother experience that
It
I
maybe it forces you to mature a little bit, right?
oh,
That
100%.
moment.
Yep.
I would
100%.
not, this is just for the record, I would not have been able to handle that. That would have been a real problem for 17-year-old Glenn
Oh yeah.
Clark. It would not
Oh
have
yeah.
gone well. So kudos to you for handling it as
Thank
well as you
you.
did. I should bring up, there's become kind of like a St. Paul's pipeline in recent years, and
Oh,
I have to because he's one of my closest friends on the world in the world. I got to bring up Steve Johnson in this
mhm.
conversation.
Yeah.
I know he's quite a bit older than you, but Spencer Horwitz, Lamont
hmm
Wade. Do you know any of those guys? Did you get to know any of those guys? And what's it like continuing that sort of pipeline now?
I do. So actually, it's funny. My junior year, we had an alum game, and um, some of those alum came back. Obviously, guys like the Spencer Horwitz and Lamont couldn't come back
Yeah,
because
they got
they
they got
they were
stuff to do.
playing
Yeah.
and all that. But Steve was there. I got to meet him. Got to meet some of the other alum. That event was really cool. I'm glad we got to hold that our junior year, my junior year. I thought it was pretty cool, kind of just to see the people that have been through the program and what they're up to nowadays, and seeing how successful they are, and just envisioning that in myself in years down the road. I think that's very important to think about, and just meeting all those people is great. I was able to meet Spencer on a different occasion, on a different day. But he's a great guy as well, and Lamont I've been able to talk to on the phone. So
That's
no,
cool.
it's definitely a great pipeline for sure.
That's a really cool group of connections.
Yeah,
Steve's an amazing human. He's working with my 10-year-old currently, trying to
wow,
get him. And my God, he's doing miraculous work
that's amazing.
trying to turn him into a baseball
That's
player.
amazing.
Cam, I know it's funny. I was talking to Aiden West, who just got drafted to the Dodgers the other day, and he's a shortstop. He like adored Adam Jones growing up.
Mhm.
Now I think about you as a center fielder. Who were the guys that you looked up to? Like I am obsessed with center fielders, by the way.
Mhm.
It is my favorite in baseball. Now I'm a lot older than you. I grew up idolizing Ken Griffey Jr. and Kenny Lofton, and Adam is not only a friend, but like one of my favorite baseball players ever. Cedric Mullins is probably my favorite current Oriole. Who were the guys for you that you looked up to and that you took the most from?
Um, I would honestly say first, without a doubt, it has to be Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
That was for me the guy, like growing up, like he was so electric to watch, and just to watch him do it at such a young age too was really like fascinating to me at a young age. So it was just like it was a very big motivating factor for me too. I saw he was a left-handed hitter. I was like, I was younger, like I remember just like having a little wiffle ball bat in my hand, like trying to emulate his swing, like just stuff like that when I was younger. Like that's how that's how much that stuff meant to me. Um, but yeah, no, Bryce Harper is definitely a guy that I looked up to and I still do look up to now. Just to watch him still do the stuff he's still doing today is that was amazing.
that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
The have you ever had a chance to play at Camden Yards in like any of the All-Star games or anything like
I
that?
have not. I have not. I've been to so many games, countless
Sure.
games, but have never been able to play on the field. So
Have you
that's
allowed yourself to think about like you
oh
might, yeah,
yeah. There's been so many times. I mean, dreams and just daydreaming, all of that stuff. I think about it all the
that's
time.
cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah,
And
think
and
about
you
it all the
might
time.
not be very far away from that
For
becoming
sure.
reality here in a couple of years. Cam, what are the Rockies getting? What should fans of theirs know about you? What you bring to the field every day, the type of player that you are?
Well, I mean, they're getting a ball player that's, it's going to be electric. I'm a guy that's, just gonna give it my all every single time I'm out there on the field. Playing every single game like it's my last, playing every game like no fear. I'm a guy that's gonna go out there and just lay everything out on the line. That's how I feel like it's is the right way to go about it. And just with my unbelievable confidence, immense confidence in myself. I feel like I can be there and be there shortly. I feel like I can have a real big impact in the organization, and I feel like I'm ready to do that very
Can,
shortly.
can I assume at this point that pitching is probably off the table? Like that maybe goes by the wayside as you make this jump.
It might. For right now, it is. For right now, it is. But it's always in the back pocket.
You're,
It's
I always
never
ask
not there.
guys how this works when like is there a volunteer system for when games get out of hand and somebody has to go into pitch? Are you the type that like you would be high on the volunteer list of like I've got an inning in me if you need?
Oh, I would say so. I'm always good for an inning or so. I'm always up to getting up there on the mound and just letting it eat. I'm good there.
Has that been tough for you to like put that part? Is there any part of you that's thought like maybe I could be Shohei Ohtani? Like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. It has been pretty hard to put it behind me a little bit, especially this season dealing with a finger injury at the start of the season. Like it was pretty hard to put it away from me. But um, you know, it got to the point where I had to embrace a pretty big role when I got back during the halfway point of the season. So I've kind of been able to mature and develop in that way to know that I am a center fielder, and pitching could be there if it needs to be.
maybe one day down the road.
Right.
Maybe one day.
Maybe,
You never know how
maybe.
things go. Tell me about the call, right? Like what goes through your mind? Like what is that moment like to realize like this is happening, this is the thing that I've dreamed of, and now it's real for me.
Um, I mean, honestly, it was unreal. Like it just felt like a dream. You know what I mean? Like it just had nothing that felt like it really sunk in yet.
That's amazing, man. That's
Yeah,
that's really truly amazing.
yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it.
Kim, I'll ask it this way. Like, obviously, you're not originally from Baltimore. You're from Harford County, but look,
Right,
we'll count it all the same, right?
right,
In
right.
what way has this area most shaped you as an athlete, as a person? How do you carry? We talk a lot about like guys from here tend to have like a chip on their shoulder, right? Like it's just the way that it works. We're overlooked. We don't get the same love as guys from other places. How do
Right.
you most carry Baltimore and this area with you as you're a baseball player, as you're a person?
Honestly, it's just the the humble factor. Just staying humble. Day in and day out. I feel like that's a very big thing. People of Baltimore carry around them. People that aren't. I feel like people aren't really that cocky in Baltimore. It's a bunch of great people, great relationships that I've made in Baltimore, with school, baseball, and all. Just in general, I just feel like I've been surrounded by great people my whole life, and I feel like they were able to shape me into the person I am today. And I just feel like I'm able to be with me being on a little bit bigger platform. I feel like I'm able to be a little bit of a voice for other people as well.
That's
So
awesome. You're now the guy that everybody looks up to and says, "I want to be the next Cam Nelson.
yes,
I
sir.
want to be able to follow his path." That's so cool, dude. Cam, how can folks from around here be giving you a follow? Twitter, Instagram, anywhere like that? How can they be following your journey?
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, anything really. It's Cam Nelson. There's a bunch of underscores either somewhere around.
Yeah, I think I
Should be
saw on
able to
like
figure it
Instagram, it's
out.
it's
Yeah.
underscore Cam Nelson
Yeah,
underscore on
something like that. Yeah, that should be
Instagram.
Instagram.
Give him a follow there, and I think it's underscore Cameron Nelson on Twitter
Yes, sir.
as well. Cam, we're so happy for you, for your family, and what this means moving forward. We will be rooting, as I always say, we'll be rooting like heck for you other than when you come back with the Rockies and you play at Camden Yards, then like we wish you well, but
Right.
it's just the way that it goes, dog. It's just
Right.
the way that it happens.
Right.
Oh, by the way, can I assume you were a Ravens fan? Like, do you already have enough purple in your
Oh
life?
yeah. Oh yeah. Huge Ravens fan.
So it's just
Huge.
more purple now
Yeah,
moving
it's just
forward.
more purple I could add to my inventory.
That's cool, man. Cam, best of luck, dude. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking some time for us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it as well. Thank you for your time.